Hi everyone, Dr. Lisa here. Today we're going to talk about safer cookware. Now, one of the best places that we can decrease our exposure to toxins is through our cookware. Non-stick cookware has been a popular choice in homes across America for decades because the non-stick feature is so convenient and makes cooking so much easier. The downside to most non-stick cookware, however, is that it's made of chemicals that can leach into our food and affect our health. Non-stick coatings made from Teflon, for example, have a chemical in them called PTFE or polytetrafluoroethene. And when it's heated, it can break down and cause toxic fumes to be released, which we then breathe in. Until about 2013, Teflon was made with a different type of chemical called PFOA or perfluorooctanoic acid. PFOA has since been linked to a number of health problems, and studies show it can be found in the vast majority of Americans' blood. So once it is in there, it doesn't tend to like to leave. There are other harmful non-stick chemicals, so even cookware that claims that it is Teflon or PFOA free may not necessarily be safe for us to use. So let's talk about some good alternatives to non-stick cookware made with harmful chemicals. The first would be, in no particular order, cast iron. So when it's seasoned correctly, cast iron has a nice non-stick surface. The downsides to cast iron, it can be very heavy, each piece, and when acidic things like tomatoes are cooked in it, it can strip the pan of the seasoning and result in excessive amounts of iron leaching into the food. Next step would be enameled cast iron. Some of these are non-stick. It is safer to use when it comes to cooking acidic foods. Sometimes the enamel coating can contain high amounts of lead or cadmium, which are heavy metals. Those are things that we don't want to be exposed to as well. So be sure to look for brands that meet or exceed the California Proposition 65 legislation, which is the restricted U.S. standard for lead and cadmium. Up next, stainless steel. It's not non-stick, but you could cook with either a very nice coconut oil, which would be an unrefined cold pressed coconut oil, or grass-fed butter to create a non-stick surface. Some studies have indicated increased amounts of nickel or chromium levels, which are metals, in acidic foods cooked with stainless steel for long periods of time. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Last but not least is ceramic cookware. And ceramic cookware is made from clay, quartz, and sand, so there are no metals involved. It's typically glazed with a food-safe coating. Now, sometimes the ceramic can still have some problems sticking, so there is something called a non-stick ceramic cookware. And I've listed some examples of that below, ones that I have researched thoroughly to make sure that they are not including things like nanoparticles, which might be contaminating their coating. Just like enameled cast iron, it is important to use brands that stay away from lead and chromium. So looking for the California Proposition 65 statement on the packaging, and also making sure that you're using brands that are made in the United States so that we can keep track and keep tabs on low amounts of those heavy metals in our cookware. So if you have some cookware that you feel is safe and that you are enjoying, let us know in the comments below. And also, if you're finding some value out of the content that I have shared with you today, go ahead and hit that bell and subscribe so that the next time I post a video, you get a notification.